Think you can't get pregnant on your period? Prepare to rethink everything you know. It's a widely held belief that getting pregnant during one's period is impossible. This myth persists largely because it seems logical. After all, menstruation is the body shedding the lining of the uterus, so how could pregnancy occur? But here's where things get interesting. Menstrual cycles vary greatly from one person to another. While some have long cycles, others might have shorter ones. This variation can lead to overlaps between the end of menstruation and the beginning of ovulation. What's more, sperm can survive inside the female reproductive tract for up to 5 days. So, if someone has a short cycle and engages in unprotected intercourse towards the end of their period, the sperm may still be viable when ovulation begins. This overlap, though seemingly small, opens a window of opportunity for pregnancy that many aren't aware of. Now, let's dive deeper into the biology of pregnancy to understand why this myth doesn't hold up. To understand pregnancy risks, first, we need a clear picture of the menstrual cycle. This cycle is a fascinating orchestra of hormones and bodily changes, playing out typically every month in a series of phases. Let's start with menstruation, the phase most are familiar with. This is when the lining of the uterus, which has built up in preparation for a potential pregnancy, is shed because no pregnancy has occurred. Menstruation can last from 3 to 7 days, but this can vary widely. Following menstruation, we enter the follicular phase. This phase begins on the first day of your period and continues until ovulation. It's named after the process of the follicles in your ovaries maturing an egg. The pituitary gland at the base of your brain releases a hormone called follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH, which stimulates about 5 to 20 follicles to mature over a span of about 2 weeks. Next up is ovulation, arguably the star of the show when it comes to conception. Ovulation is the release of a mature egg from the surface of the ovary. This usually occurs mid-cycle, around day 14 in a typical 28-day cycle. However, not everyone has a textbook cycle, and this timing can vary significantly. The egg, once released, is viable for about 24 hours. The final act of the menstrual cycle is the luteal phase. After the egg is released, the follicle transforms into a structure called the corpus luteum, which secretes progesterone. This hormone prepares the uterus for a potential pregnancy. If the egg isn't fertilized, the corpus luteum degenerates, leading to a drop in progesterone levels, and the cycle begins anew with menstruation. With such variability in cycle length and timing among individuals, pinpointing safe days becomes a gamble. Next, we'll see how ovulation plays a crucial role. Ovulation is the star of the fertility show, but its timing can be quite unpredictable. Each month, typically in the middle of a menstrual cycle, an ovary releases an egg. This event is what we call ovulation. It's a pivotal moment in the reproductive process, and understanding it is key to grasping fertility. Now, the lifespan of an egg after ovulation is relatively short, generally surviving only about 24 hours if it's not fertilized. On the flip side, sperm can live considerably longer within the female reproductive tract. Under optimal conditions, sperm may survive up to 5 days. This extended survival period allows sperm to be present in the fallopian tubes waiting for an egg to be released. Here's where it gets intriguing. While most textbooks will tell you ovulation typically happens around day 14 of a 28-day cycle, this isn't a rule set in stone. Various factors such as stress, diet, and overall health can lead to earlier or later ovulation. For some, ovulation might occur as early as day 10 or as late as day 20 or beyond. Imagine this scenario. A person has intercourse towards the end of their period thinking they are far from their fertile window. However, if they ovulate earlier than expected and the sperm survives longer, fertilization could occur. This scenario is not just theoretical. Real-life instances have confirmed that sperm meeting an early released egg can indeed result in pregnancy. Moreover, irregular menstrual cycles, which are more common than one might think, add another layer of unpredictability. Those with shorter cycles might ovulate soon after their period ends, increasing the chance of what could be considered an unexpected pregnancy. Understanding the variability in both the timing of ovulation and the lifespan of sperm is crucial. It highlights why assuming one is safe from pregnancy at any point in the cycle can be a misleading notion. This unpredictability can lead to unexpected pregnancies, even during menstruation. Still skeptical? Let's look at some real-life cases and statistics. Imagine the story of a woman, we'll call her Jane. Jane thought she was in the clear when she had unprotected sex during her period. believing the myth that it's a safe time. Fast forward a few weeks, and Jane was surprised to find out she was expecting. Jane's story isn't unique. There are countless similar experiences shared in forums and discussions online, where women express their astonishment at conceiving during what they thought was a safe period of their cycle. Now, let's dive into some statistics to give context to these anecdotes. Research indicates that while it's less common, pregnancy can indeed occur during menstruation. Approximately 2 to 6% of women can ovulate early, which means they are fertile even during their period. This might seem like a small percentage, but when you consider the millions of women of reproductive age around the world, the numbers become significant. Furthermore, sperm can live inside the female reproductive tract for up to 5 days. So, if a woman has a shorter cycle, say 21 days, and she has intercourse at the end of her period, the sperm may still be viable when ovulation occurs early. These stories and numbers show that the unexpected can and does happen, whether it's a misunderstanding of one's own cycle or the remarkable resilience of sperm. The possibility of pregnancy during menstruation is a fact backed by both personal experiences and scientific data. Understanding the risks, how can we prevent unwanted pregnancies effectively? When it comes to preventing pregnancy, knowledge and proper use of contraceptive methods are key. Let's walk through some of the most effective options available. The birth control pill, when taken consistently every day, is one of the most reliable methods, boasting a success rate of over 99% with perfect use. However, it's important to note that its effectiveness can drop if not used correctly. Condoms, another popular choice, serve a dual purpose. Not only do they help prevent pregnancy, but they also reduce the risk of sexually transmitted infections. Used perfectly, condoms are 98% effective. However, typical use, which includes occasional mistakes, sees that effectiveness lower to about 85%. For those looking for long-term solutions, intrauterine devices or IUDs can be an excellent option. These devices are implanted by a healthcare provider and can prevent pregnancy for up to 5 to 10 years, depending on the type. IUDs are more than 99% effective and remove the need for daily attention. Another significant aspect of pregnancy prevention is timing. Understanding your menstrual cycle and recognizing your fertile window can help. But remember, it's not a foolproof method. Sperm can survive in the body for up to 5 days, so even during menstruation, there's a potential risk of pregnancy if unprotected sex occurs. Being informed and prepared is your best defense against unexpected pregnancy. Today, we've uncovered some crucial truths about fertility and menstruation. Let's take a moment to recap the important points we've discussed, ensuring that you leave with a clear understanding of how these concepts interconnect. Firstly, we explored the variability of menstrual cycles. It's vital to understand that not everyone has a textbook 28-day cycle. In fact, cycles can range anywhere from 21 to 35 days, and sometimes even more varied. This variability means that the timing of ovulation can also differ significantly from one person to another, which leads us to our second point. We delved into the unpredictability of ovulation. Ovulation doesn't always occur precisely in the middle of the cycle. It can vary greatly, influenced by factors such as stress, lifestyle, and health. This unpredictability is a key reason why one can indeed become pregnant during their period if their cycle is shorter or if ovulation occurs earlier than expected. Next, we touched on real-life statistics and stories which highlight that pregnancies during menstruation, while not extremely common, do indeed occur. These anecdotes and data points serve as real-world evidence that breaks down the myth and showcases the exceptions to the rule. We also discussed effective contraception. Understanding how different methods of contraception work and choosing the right one for you is crucial for effective pregnancy prevention. Whether it's barrier methods, hormonal contraceptives, or natural cycle tracking, being informed helps in making the best choice for your body and lifestyle. Knowledge and preparedness are your best tools when it comes to managing your reproductive health. Each piece of information acts as a building block towards making empowered and informed decisions. Armed with the right information, you can make informed decisions about your reproductive health. Remember, myths are there to be debunked.